Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. I am one half of the For Love of the Mouse duo. I'm Crystal and I'm really excited you could join us today. This is a really exciting vlog. I've been wanting to do it for a long time and I'm really excited that I did it. First things first, if you haven't already, be sure that you subscribe to our channel and also hit that like button if you like this video. Be sure to check out our other videos because they're pretty fun. Also hit that bell icon so that you can be notified every time we release a video. Let's get started. So today, like I said, we have something a little bit different for you guys. We are going to make some crafts, and they are Mickey themed crafts. I love crafting. We got married a year ago and my mom and I did all of the crafting for our wedding. We did everything from the centerpieces to all of the table names to all of the decor for walking down the aisle. We just made so much. My mom made the table runners. We just made everything and I loved doing it. It was such a blast. I wouldn't have done it any other way, and I've done a ton of the crafting around our house and it's just a really fun outlet for me and I absolutely love it. So I'm really excited to share this video with you. It is now past Labor Day and so for me it is time to pull out those fall decorations. I actually did all of our fall decor last weekend, so it was time for me to finally do this project, which is my fall themed Mickey wreath. And I actually got the stuff to make two wreaths. I got one to make a summer wreath and I never got around to making it this summer, and then I got the stuff to do the fall wreath and I just finished it and I'm so excited to hang it on our front door. It is the perfect size to hang on our front door. We have like a really large front porch and door, a perfect fit there. We like to have kind of larger wreaths there and this one turned out perfect. So let's get started with what you're going to need. You are going to need two of these wreaths. These are the 10-inch wreaths. So these I got at Hobby Lobby. And like I said, these are 10 inches. I got two of those plus one larger wreath. This is what I got for this particular one. And I think I got the same, yeah, they're both the same size. So I got, this is a 20-inch wreath. So you're gonna need one 20-inch, two 10-inch, and then you're also going to need some floral wire. And I just got a brand new one because I couldn't find my other floral wire. And then you're going to need scissors, a hot glue gun. I almost smacked myself in the face, but you're going to need a hot glue gun. I also got jute. So this is, you can find this at any craft store. You can also find it at farm supply stores, and they come in a variety of widths. This is a medium width. As you can see, it's not too thin, not too thick, and we have a ton of this left over, and I use it for a lot of crafting, and I used it for a ton of our wedding stuff because we had a rustic themed wedding. But jute is great for tons of crafts, and this is something else that I used to secure not only the wreaths, the ears to the head, so the smaller wreaths to the larger wreath, but I also used it to secure the bow, and it just was kind of like an extra reinforcement. And then you're going to need your decor. So hubby went to Hobby Lobby with me to buy this stuff. He doesn't like going to Hobby Lobby very often, but usually he'll go once a season. So for the fall season, he went to help me get stuff to make this wreath, and he actually found these pine cones and there's acorns in there. So we got this, and as you can see I have a ton left over, so I have more to do something else with. And then we got some leaves. These are just bunched together. These were $3.99 and they were 40% off. So there's a pumpkin on there, it has little berries, and then the leaves. I love fall leaves. Just the colors are just out of control. I also got some individual individual leaves, and I have a few left over from that as well. And then I got these little mini corns, and so these came in a variety of colors, but this is a yellow one, and then there's a deep red one and an orange one, and a ton of other stuff. I also picked up some velvet pumpkins that are smaller that you'll see in just a sec, and a large pumpkin bow. So first things first, you're going to want to secure your ears, so your small wreath to your large wreath. What I did was I grabbed a ton of this floral wire, I just unwrapped it and then found out exactly where I wanted to place it, one ear at a time. I placed both of them there so they were symmetrical, and then I did one to kind of tighten it, and I pulled it taut so that it would stay. So, and then I got more and just wrapped it around in several different places so that you had that secured. And you can kind of see the back here. So this is the finished wreath, and you can kind of see the back here how I secured the small wreath to the larger wreath here, and that was the very first step. So I did that. I put a little bit of glue on there to reinforce it, but quite honestly, the glue I don't think is necessary. What I would do instead, and I didn't do that on this one, but I will do it on my next one, is take some of your jute and tie a knot, because you're going to be covering it with baubles and things anyways. So take some of your jute and tie a knot and do it super tight. I think that that'll work perfect to hold your ears in place, but make sure that you kind of hold it up every once in a while. So I would do some of the wire and then hold it up and make sure that it was sticking and not like falling to the back, because it kept kind of falling to the back. So I would tighten it and do a little bit more, and then eventually we just got there with both sides, so it worked out perfect. So after you have your ears in place and they are secure and you can hold them up and they're not falling either backwards or forwards and they're just tight and secure, the next thing I did was I wanted to secure the bow. So I like to kind of make my wreaths symmetrical, but this is totally whatever you want to do. If you don't like as much stuff, I'm over the top, so I like a lot of things going on my wreaths. So I always put like a ton of stuff on there. But if this isn't your style and you just want to do like a few things here or there, that's just as pretty. So you just kind of make this yours and do kind of how you want to do it. But we got this pre-made bow, mostly because I don't know how to do these types of bows, so I just buy them, or I have my aunt help me with them. But we got this bow and I think it's perfect because it's got the little pumpkins on it. I wanted it to be in the center, so I put that on first. And how I secured this was with hot glue in a number of places, and then I took, and you can kind of see it, the jute, and I tied a knot. And the jute doesn't take anything away from this in my opinion, because I think jute is rustic and fall anyways. So that just helped to secure that a little bit better on here because it is kind of heavier. And then the next thing I did was we got this one flower that was kind of going to be the centerpiece, as you can see here. And it's got some sequins on it, and it's just a little bit of bling because I have to have bling. And I wanted that to be at the top in the center. So I secured that next so that I had kind of an even space on both sides to work with. And then I went through and put the velvet pumpkins. As you can see, they're super cute, and there's just a few of them. I just got one stem of the velvet pumpkins, kind of put them around everywhere. So what I like to do is kind of arrange everything and kind of get a sense of where I want it before I start gluing, because I'll usually move things around a little bit and kind of interchange some stuff. These are napkin holders. So we got these burlap napkin holders, if you can see them. And what I did for these, and it actually worked really well to secure, was I just flattened the napkin holder because it's burlap all the way around. It's not a metal ring, it's just a burlap ring. And I flattened it and then just put a copious amount of hot glue on that and secured it. So every time I secure something, I hold it for 15 seconds. And it's really important because these things will slide around, and you don't want them sliding around after you glue them. And then if they have a stem, like these had stems, and I don't take the stems off. If it's a longer stem, I'll trim it, but I like to put glue on the stem and then up some of the thicker things like leaves, or if it's a flower, like the back of a large flower, and I put glue on all of that, and then I stick the stem into the wreath so that it's glued all the way through and it's not kind of moving around. That just seems to work the best, especially because I'm not the nicest to these once we take them down. They go in the basement until next season. I usually end up having to repair some things on them. The more reinforcement I have on there, the better. But I like to just make sure there's plenty of things sticking it to there. Also, fall's coming, it's going to be windier and things like that, and with the outdoor elements, even though it's under our porch, which is it's very well covered, it's still going to get a little bit of that wind, and you have the door slamming and things like that. So I just like to make sure that everything is really secure on there. Now for these, I took them and I kind of prop them out a little bit to give it some depth. I don't like everything to be really flat on my wreaths. So you have some of the leaves that are back here, like this one here is glued to the wreath, but then these up here are just kind of sticking out. They're not glued to the back. So that it gives it a little bit of depth, and that, in my opinion, gives it it's more visually appealing. So the first thing I did was glued all of this on this side. and then I'd go on to the other side and I try to match it up as best I can. But as you can see, like I kind of switched out the colors here, and then I switched out the colors of the leaves here, so I don't want it to be exactly the same. Visually, it's better for me, and I just like things to be even on both sides. I've always been like that, so it just helps with me and looking at the wreath. So then after we have everything secure on here, and I used these larger ones to cover up the wire, because you don't want that showing through, right? You want that to be completely covered. So you're gonna want a little bit thicker coverage up on the top here. So I have those leaves here. I put a couple of extra of these loose leaves up here to kind of cover where there was a little bit sticking out here. So I used a couple of those loose leaves to kind of get in there and fill that in, and then I used this to cover that as well. And then I took some pine cones, again with the velvet pumpkins. I just love these. If you go to Hobby Lobby, ours had them in 3 colors. It actually had a really pretty like sage green, and then a cream, which I really liked, and this orange. But I just went with the traditional orange. So this is my wreath. It probably took me an hour and a half to do, but that's a lot because I kind of went back and changed some things. I would step away and come back and look at it again at the end and kind of move some stuff around or see if I needed to add anything. The thing that took the longest for this is getting these secure to the larger wreath. So just be patient and be making sure that wire is really taut and tight on there so that you can make sure that it's going to be secure and it's not going to go anywhere. So I'm really excited about it. I would love to know, have you ever made one of these wreaths? Are you going to make one now? Like I said, they're super simple. I think they're perfect for fall. I love Disney decor. We don't Disney out our house, but we always have some Disney stuff around. We've got a Mickey and a Minnie scarecrow on our mantle right now, and then we'll have this, so that's kind of our fall Mickey decor, and then we have some non-Disney stuff as well. But I would love to know, have you ever made one of these? Are you going to try to make one? I'd love to see if you do try how yours turns out, so send us a picture on Instagram. So that's it for this video. I'd love to know if you liked this video, if you'd like to see more of these crafting videos, because like I said, I do a ton of crafting and have some really great ideas for some future crafts that are both Disney and non-Disney. So let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. Thank you for stopping by, and for the love of the mouse, never forget that it all started with a mouse.